There you go. Show it now.
Cheers, Lou.
Right. Moose,
Cool.
off you go.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, Liam. Hope you're both well. Question for both of you to start with. Emotions ahead of Saturday? Excited? Anticipation? What are your emotions?
Yeah, obviously, we're all excited. Everyone at the club is excited. A strange week, of course. I think, first of all, we have to say a big thank you to Phillip and Chris and Twan, who done a good job here. For me, and from a personal point of view, I learnt a lot. My first coaching role, working under them, so I have to say thank you for that. But I think the change was needed. We obviously weren't in a great run of form, and it's an opportunity for myself, Liam, Justin, and Sheikh to, get some new ideas and almost a new identity to the team and how we want to play, how we see us playing, and more importantly, is trying to win the game on Saturday.
Liam, you've done this before with Brighton's younger players. So, are you the head honcho? Are you in the scheme of the four of you? Are you going to be the one who is actually on the touchline barking out the orders?
I think this is the great thing about what we're doing at the moment, and so far so good in the way that we're working. We're working as a foursome. I always think in coaching you can collaborate, and the great thing is we sat down on Sunday evening once we had obviously heard the news about Phillip, Chris and Twan leaving the club. And when we sat down and we all went through, how we want the game to be played, how we believe we should coach a team, what kind of identity we want to give the group. We're all so aligned in our thinking, which has made things really, really easy from a coaching point of view to put that plan into process on the training ground. And the players' responses to us has been nothing short of magnificent. And what we have to do is make sure that that's shown on Saturday at 3:00. I think if we do that, we have a really, really good chance of winning the game. For me, it doesn't matter who the head is. We don't have a head at the moment, and that's absolutely fine. We're working as a team, and we're asking the players to do the same, work as a team, and we're trying to give them trust. We're trying to make them accountable for things that we do, how we travel, our scheduling. And because if you're accountable, you're part of it. So we're all in this together at the moment. The most important thing is the football club and how we perform moving forward.
Have the four of you decided if Wayne Rooney's playing yet?
Doesn't know yet.
I've decided that, yeah.
And?
We'll find
You'll
out.
have to wait and see.
You both play for some top managers, some experienced managers. I'm obviously going to start with Wayne, but feel free, Liam, to afterwards. So what have you learned from the likes of David Moyes, Alex Ferguson, Sven, that you're going to bring to the table with Derby County?
Yeah, as you said, work with some very good managers, possibly the greatest manager of all time. So, but I think it's important you understand the players you've got in front of you. You can't go in and say, I'm gonna do it this way with the way Alex Ferguson done it, the way Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho done it, because you have to work to the players you've got, and you have to treat each player differently. I think each player has a different mindset. You have to speak to certain players different to other players and manage them correctly. So, but I think, again, there's things you can take from different managers and what I've learned throughout the years. And I'm sure throughout this short period, then I'll be doing that. I'll be using some of the stuff I've learned from different managers in different situations that I'm put in with the players.
Yeah, I think you can take good things and bad from the managers that you play for and work for. But I think for me, in my time in coaching, the most important thing is that you're true to yourself. You can't try and morph into somebody else. You have to have a clear idea about the way you want to work. You have to have a clear idea about how you want to work on the coaching pitch and what kind of intensity and the way that you play is shown in the way that you coach. But I think for me and Wayne, the most important thing, and for Shay and Justin, have a key part in this, is that we're comfortable being ourselves. I think the great thing about, it's not just over the last week, but me and Wayne have got on since he's come to the club, is we're very aligned in our thinking in terms of how you treat players. You treat them with respect, you treat them with trust, you tell them the truth and you're honest to their face. And I think as a player, that's all I could ask for. I wasn't as good as Wayne at football. I was never always guaranteed a place in the team. But one thing I always respected were managers who told me the truth and told me what I needed to improve. So that's the kind of methods that I will take into my coaching career and hopefully managerial career one day. Is that, yeah, I've taken good and bad from the managers I work for, but I'll always be true to myself and my core values and my core beliefs.
You mentioned managerial career one day for both of you. I mean, Wayne, we've just seen one of your predecessors there, Frank Lampard, go on and do well at Chelsea. You played as well with Steven Gerrard, who's doing well at Rangers. Is this the beginning of a road, you, Wayne, to maybe be a Man United manager one day?
That's looking at. No, but I think, I'm sure if you ask anyone, but I can speak for myself, that I'm ambitious, of course. I want to go into management. It's something I've been quite open about in the past, and I think obviously there's an opportunity for the four of us here to try and lead this team for however long that is. We don't know, but there's an opportunity for us to show the different ideas we've got and to try and get the best out of this team and get us back on track and climb the table. So, but in terms of management, of course, one day I want to do that.
And two final questions. One for you, first of all, Wayne. Again, is this the beginning of the end of your playing career? Because it's hard to manage and play full-time all the time. And I just wondered, with your playing contracts up at the end of the season, whether, I know I saw you at Bournemouth, you're still enjoying the game, you're still dominating games, but, you know, are you looking at this maybe being the beginning of the end of actually playing?
Well, while I'm in this position, I've got a new 3-year deal, so... No, I think, of course, I know I'm not in the twilight of my career. In the finest moments in my career, of course, I'm 35, so I think we'll have to wait and see what happens moving forward. But for now, of course, I've got me toes in both dressing rooms, one as a player and one as trying to help lead the team. So we'll see where this takes us, and there'll be a decision made from there.
Finally, Liam, I think I've grilled Wayne enough, so this one you can have. What are the ambitions now? You're currently looking up at everybody else. Is it survival, playoffs, or automatic promotion?
First ambition is to win the game on Saturday. And I know that's not the answer that you want to hear. I've got a lot of experience in this league, and it's a 46-game league. So, you know, we've got 35 games left. It's nearly a whole Premier League season. If you focus on each game as it comes and then you win games, you can very, very quickly move up the table. Now, I don't want to be sat here when we're 24th out of 24 saying we've got these ambitions. Our first ambition is to win away at Bristol. And that's all we're focusing on at the moment. What I would say about that is we have sat down as a staff and discussed how we want to move the club forward and what type of team we want to see consistently in this next block of games. I think we've got 8 games until Christmas. So we have a plan and an identity, which I think is crucial to any manager. You speak about the top managers in the game, speak about Guardiola or Klopp, you know exactly how they want to play. And that's what we want to give this team in a very, very short space of time. And at the moment, without all of our squad back, obviously, David Marshall doing so well with Scotland, Jason Knight starting his first international for Ireland, and also Lee Buchanan being outstanding for England under-21s. So we know we've got good players here. It's just finding the right philosophy and the right system to move this club forward in the short term.
Good luck, gents, on Saturday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Fellas, it's Rob Dawson at Sky Sports News. Good to see you. Liam, I wanted to start with you because, you know, you've done an awful lot in coaching now at different levels. You've done all your coaching badges as well. And I wonder whether for you feel the next step is to be a number one. All right, you're not doing that now. It's a shared role. But for you, is that the next step?
Yeah, for sure. I've worked for 25 years from the age of 10 years old on a coaching, starting in my dad's living room. When he was manager of Bristol City and Gloucester, doing set pieces with my brother and him. And I finished my career early. I could have kept playing at a high level because my passion and my love is coaching. And I feel really blessed to be at this football club as a coach. I feel really, really blessed to be able to represent this football club on Saturday as part of a coaching team that's leading. And yeah, for sure, I feel like I was one of the youngest ever coaches to get my pro license at 32. So I know qualifications aren't everything. Experience is key, but I would love the opportunity in time to show and put my print on a football club. And at the moment, that's here, working with Wayne, working with Shane, working with Justin. But I love coaching. It's what I've always wanted to do more than playing. And I do feel that the next step naturally for me is to be a lead and be a head coach and a manager.
Clearly, it depends a lot on how long the takeover takes of the football club, which I know you guys don't have an awful lot of knowledge about. But Liam, have you been told anything about that at the moment, or is it literally day by day? Have you had a chance to meet the new owners, anything like that?
Well, we did yesterday. We had a really nice Zoom call for around half an hour. All of us as a coaching staff, with Stephen Pearce, the CEO, with Mel, and with Midhat, who represented the I can't say new ownership yet because it's not fully done, but we spoke. I think it's really important that these conversations stay private at the moment, but it was just to put a face for us to meet him and for him to meet us, and I think it went really, really well.
Wayne, clearly for you, it's a step up in the level of involvement you're having as in the coaching setup and the selecting of teams and the influencing of training and that sort of thing. I remember asking you when you first when you first went to Derby about how difficult it might be to combine the player role and the coaching role. I guess it's even more obvious for you now. Is it difficult? Do you feel like you need to stop during training and have a word with people, or how does it play out?
Yeah, I think the only difference is obviously the planning, which is taking place before sessions. Obviously, in terms of planning the sessions, there's obviously a lot more stuff to do in terms of the admin stuff around the management stuff. But when we go on the pitch, everything is sorted, and then obviously Liam, Justin, and Sheikh will lead them sessions. And if there's any key messages which needs to go across to the players, then of course I'll get them messages over to them also. So it's a bit different, but to be honest, it's not that far away from what was happening anyway.
Slightly away from the topic, but I wanted to ask your view on Marcus Rashford, Wayne, at the moment, if that's okay, because you've been there as a young player in the spotlight at Manchester United and England, and was making some great strides in community issues and politics at the moment. He's getting some interesting treatment, shall we say, from some sections of the media that are criticising his investing in houses, and there has been a suggestion that if he wasn't black, if he was white, maybe he wouldn't have that attention. What do you think? You've been there and done it, but obviously with a different colour to your skin.
Yeah, well, I think with Marcus, first of all, as a football player, he's a great player. He's got huge potential still. I still think we've yet to see the best of him, both for Manchester United and England. And I think what he's done off the pitch has been incredible. The reaction to it from everyone, really. I think I've spoke to many people, many parents at schools, many kids who are really appreciative of what he's done, and I think he should be getting all the plaudits he gets for that, because it's an incredible achievement of what he's doing. And listen, I think what he's doing off the pitch is down to him. It's down to his family, his team, but for me, I think the focus, which I would have looked at when I was younger, is if what I'm doing off the pitch, is it affecting what I'm doing on the pitch? And I don't think that's the case at the minute. So good luck to him, and hopefully he keeps doing it, because if someone doesn't like what you're doing, it doesn't mean to say you have to stop what you're doing. You have to have your own beliefs and be comfortable with what you're doing, and he seems to be doing that.
Liam, have you got a view on it?
I think he's an inspiration. I think he is a new breed of player in a new generation. And it's not just Marcus. There's so many younger players now standing up for what they believe in. And I always felt that when I was a young boy, my dad was a player, and all I looked up to were other footballers. I know Wayne was the same as a younger, looking up to all the Everton players. You are a role model. You're a role model in society. So you can actually make change just more so outside the game. Obviously, your job day in, day out is to be a footballer. But you have so much more reach now. If you use social media in a correct manner, you can be a real role model and leave a legacy for the next generation. I think Marcus has been absolutely outstanding, in terms of the free school lunches. It's not just about that. It's about raising awareness of where we are as a country, where we are in society, and that we can help each other. And when that happens, and you do put your head above the parapet, people try to shoot you down. And I think Marcus is in that situation now. I'm sat next to someone who's been in those shoes, and always stood up for what they believe in. And it's great for me to see people like Marcus standing up for what they believe in too.
Great stuff. Last one from me, guys, if that's all right, and I'll chuck it Wayne's way. Bristol City, of course, have had their own mini coronavirus outbreak down over there, and still got the training ground closed. I think that they're still awaiting the results of their latest tests. Do you have any concerns that the game might not go ahead? And when the EFL, when the Championship played straight after lockdown in the end of last season, every player was tested. Do you think it's time that we had all those tests back for EFL clubs? I know it's expensive, but is that the only way here, do you think, going forward?
Yeah, I think first of all on the game, then obviously that's something which we'll wait and see. But for us, we have to prepare as if the game is going ahead. I'm sure the game will go ahead. Although the training ground may have been closed, we know for sure that Bristol have been training at a different facility. So I don't think there'll be any chance the game will not go ahead. And yeah, I think testing is important at the right times. I don't think you need to test every day or every couple of days, but at the right times, it's important to get your test done, because if someone hasn't got symptoms and they have got it, then the last thing you want is them affecting the other players or the members of staff. And I think what we have to look at here, it's a global pandemic where people's lives are at risk. So of course it's important that the right decisions are made, but you don't want to overdo it. We can't test every day. So I think we've got the right balance at the minute.
Top stuff. Thanks, guys. Good luck with it, yeah? Thank you.
Hi, Liam. Hi, Wayne. It's Charlie from the BBC. Hope you're both doing well. Wayne, can I just ask you for your impressions on we'll call them the prospective new owners from the meeting that Liam was speaking about just a few moments ago?
No, as Liam said, we had a good chat yesterday. But yeah, I think we'd all like to keep that private. It's still ongoing. And any more information on that, I'm sure Mel Morris or Stephen Pearce will answer your questions on that, but it's not really for us to talk about while it's still ongoing.
Liam, how are you splitting the coaching responsibilities as a team at the moment between the two of you and, of course, Shane and Justin as well?
Yeah, I think it's working really well. Obviously, we have not just me and Wayne, we've got Sheikh who's had an outstanding playing career, as a goalkeeper. Justin Walker. We're speaking about all these young players coming through. Lee Buchanan making his under-21s debut. Jason Knight, Louis Sibley, Morgan Whitaker. All these players, Justin's been coaching for years. So we've got good coaches and with great experience in our coaches' office. So the way we've done it is we've not really prescribed roles in terms of, right, you're doing this, you're doing this. We like, and Wayne's in agreement, having different voices at different times. So obviously we'll sit down every morning as a staff and speak about what we want to work on, what teams. And when you do that and you collaborate and you have conversations, things just naturally take their course, where one person's more suited to a certain style of coaching. So in terms of build-up and goalkeeper's point of view, Shay can take real ownership of that because he can take empathy and have that perception of how you build from the back. With Justin, he's covered all types of things in terms of coaching. And with Wayne, we've got someone with unbelievable experience in their career, but also what the session feels like when you're out there training. It's unbelievable feedback to have. So there's actual times where I'm coming up to Wayne in the session saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'm actually getting not just a coach's perception, but a player's perception as well. So I can adjust things as the session moves on. So I'm actually really enjoying working in this way. It's a way that I believe in. You speak about industry and business now and how they work. Collaboration is key, because if you only have one idea instead of 4 ideas, you don't have a diversity in thinking. You don't have the diversity in your process. So at the moment, we're really, really enjoying it. There's no prescription of roles. We're just trying to do the best we can for the football club. And what I would say is what's been maybe fortunate, maybe not so, it is fortunate. We're already aligned in how we see the game, how we think we should play. So far, so good. I'm sure you'll be the judge of that on Saturday come 4:45. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm sure you'll find more qualified judges than myself. But with all of that being said there, I wonder whether or not this can be a long-term solution then. Everybody's looking at it as a short-term solution at the moment. Everybody's saying who they think should get the job on a full-time basis. Could this work as a full-time thing? You guys managed by committee as a foursome?
Well, I think first of all, we have to get the next 2 or 3 games out the way, and then, of course, I think if them games go well, then it gives us a better better stance. It puts us in a better position to put our names forward for that role. But we have to just purely think of the next game, the game on Saturday. That's the most important thing. And as Liam said, it is working really well with the four of us. Different ideas, disagreements at times, because I think that's healthy, and that's where it's great that we can all sit down, we can talk about what's right, what's wrong, and then we can come to one decision before we address the players. So I think it's healthy for us, but also healthy for the players that these discussions are going on, and the plan which we agree on is clear for the players.
Apologies for asking the blunt question, and I'll ask it to yourself as well in a moment, Liam. But Wayne, do you want the job? Would you like to become the new Derby County manager?
Listen, I think we all come into this game and to play football, and then you have a decision to make. Do you want to go into coaching? Do you want to go to management? I've made it quite clear over the last few years, my ambition is to go into management, especially when you see the likes of Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Scott Parker, all getting good jobs and doing really well at it. And I wouldn't be an ambitious person if I sat here and said I didn't want a job. Of course, that's something which I'm sure Liam will have the same answer for you. But at the minute, and we're working together, and if that works, I think that could be a way forward also.
Liam, I guess you're going to have to arm wrestle for it.
No, I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think one thing wanting the job, it's another thing, are you the right man for the job? And that depends on how the owners see the club moving forward. Wayne has unbelievable qualities. I've got no doubt in my mind that Wayne's going to be an exceptional manager. And the thing that frustrates me sometimes when people speak about Wayne is about his playing. He comes up with so many good ideas about the way we move forward in the coach's office. I think Wayne's an outstanding manager. In saying that, I'd love to think that one day, in a different path, that I could be an outstanding manager in my own right as well. So it's not more about, I wouldn't expect that everyone with a position to want to get to as high as they can in their career. It's more about the decision makers and who they think the right person is. And it might be Wayne, it might be me, it might be someone from outside the club. At the moment, the most important thing is that we win games of football for this football club, because there's a bigger picture than just what me or just Wayne. It's about a huge football club being in a position that they shouldn't be in at the moment, and we have an unbelievable opportunity to affect that in the short term.
Appreciate both of your time. Good luck at the weekend.
Hi Liam, hi Wayne. Just a couple of quick ones from me. Wayne, you sort of mentioned it quite early on that you felt it was time for a change, and you are in that unique position where you're playing and also in the coaching team. So what is the biggest issue for you at the moment? What have you needed to change this week going into Saturday's game?
I think first of all, the big thing which we need to bring back for the players and bring back into our game is simplicity. I think sometimes you can overcomplicate things at times, and that's not always great for players. Different messages, different teams, different lineups, different ways of playing is not always the right way. And of course, when you're struggling and you're not winning games of football, you're always thinking of different ideas of how you can get out of that run of form. But I think the best way out of that is simplicity. I think, and as a player, I think you learn as your career goes on. You learn that if you give the ball away 2 or 3 times, the next ball comes into you keep it simple, and then naturally your confidence grows. And then you can start trying the more difficult passes. And I think it's the same in terms of getting the players ready. Make things simple. Don't overcomplicate them with information which could frazzle the heads. Just let them do the simple things right, and everything will fall into place.
Leah, I can see you nodding away there. Is that even more prescient in this current situation because of where you are in the league? Keep it as simple as you possibly can.
I think it's in this position, but I think it's in any position. I think simplicity is genius sometimes. For me, it doesn't matter whether we're top of the league or bottom of the league. I think your principles and your key identities have to stay the same. So we are trying to manage this situation how we would, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. And I think the most important thing is clear messaging. I think the key for coaches and the skill for coaches is taking the most complex ideas and it's not about how much you know as a coach, it's about how much the players understand what you're teaching them. It's not about the coaching, it's about the players. So actually what we worked on this week, we tried to fit in probably 2 months worth of tactical work into 3 days. without the players even knowing. So even in the small possessions that we do, there are key principles in what we're trying to do. When we play 11v11, there are key messages we're giving in simple terms to individuals so that those individuals are pieced together in the collective works. Now, the judge of that will be the performance on Saturday. But that is the key to coaching, is making things as simple as possible. And it's not about how good your sessions are, it's about how much knowledge and understanding the players have from the sessions that you work with them. And I think the way that they've responded to us has been nothing short of magnificent. I think they really have. I think they've made our jobs really, really difficult in terms of team selection. And what we did say to them at the start of this week was, it's a blank sheet. We start from the beginning. We're looking at this with fresh eyes. So you go out there and you show us who deserves to play, and the team will pick itself. And if the team wins, the team picks itself even further. So in terms of simple messaging and changing a little bit of the culture and the environment that they're working in, we're hoping it makes a big difference in the games to come.
Wayne, we've asked Liam this question when he's been put up for press. We asked Phillip numerous times as well. Your best position and where you want to play in this team. We've seen you up front. We've seen you in front of the back four. We've seen you in midfield. Where would you like to play? Where do you consider your best position to be currently?
Yeah, I think I've been fortunate that I've played in different positions throughout my career. I feel I can play in a variety of positions. And the best position for me is where can I affect the game most? How can I bring players into the game most? And how can I try and hurt opposition? Now, of course, I can play number 9. And then you're relying on service, and you're relying on the ball coming to you. So I've played as a number 6 at times, as a number 8 at times. But I think just by getting me on the ball and bringing players into the game, and as I said, bringing some calmness into the team at this time will benefit the team.
Last two from me. Liam, you've got a bigger squad and more subs to play with as of Saturday. So how pleased are you about that? Is that a good thing for Derby?
I think we're absolutely delighted with it. Absolutely delighted. It enables us to bring that culture of togetherness. We can take a bigger squad with us, which makes our job a little bit easier when it comes to leaving people out. But what I would say is we're looking now, we've got pretty much a fully fit squad. So we've got really, really difficult decisions to make, even in naming a squad for 20. And I always remember managers always used to say to me, starting 11 is hard to pick, but the subs bench is even harder. That's what we're finding right now. We've got a really, really strong squad. We've got a group that have trained absolutely superbly all week, who all deserve to be in, with a chance of not just being in the squad, but starting the game. And, me and Wayne know we've got really, really difficult decisions to make in terms of our bench, which is great for the club, and also to affect games. Look at the likes of Morgan and Louis Sibley and Jason Knight, and with Josvia. Can we as coaches affect the game from the touchline? And I think that's key when you have 5 subs instead of 3.
And you say a fully fit squad, so presumably everyone's come back from international duty okay. I know Tom Lawrence didn't play for Wales the last couple of games. Is he okay?
Yeah, Tom came in today, took part of the session, obviously, because he played half an hour last night. And what was great with Tom, we gave him the options to come in later. He was in 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to go. We seem to have that at the moment with all of the players, and Tom was a big part of our plan moving forward.
Magic. Thank you both.
Thank you.